This is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
This is only a test.
DJs in MC. This DJ, he gets down.
Listen to this jockey's introduction to
DJs in a Mic with your host, DJ Mike.
Is that a timetable?
And DJ JP.
Well, get on it. It's your time.
Give me the mic.
All right. How y'all doing today? Welcome to another edition of Two DJs and a Mic with me, DJ Mike, and my boy DJ JP. He's on the road. I can't tell y'all where he's at, but he's out there somewhere.
What's up? What's up?
Yes, how you doing today, bro?
Man, just looking at these little white lines, trying to make my way on in.
Oh yes. Well, I'm glad. You know, one thing that I appreciate about what we do, we don't allow things to get in the way of two DJs and a mic.
No,
the
we
show
don't.
must go on.
The show must go on. Rain, shine, sleet, travel, or snow.
Yes, even in darkness.
Okay, let me see if I can put a light on it. Is that a little better?
Yeah, shine a light on them.
Shine a light on them. Hey.
Yeah. Well, today, we're gonna have it's just me and Jeff today, me and Mr. JP today, and we're gonna have, a show that we're going to talk about, the do's and don'ts when hiring a DJ. So that's what we're going to talk about, the do's and don'ts when hiring a DJ. Now, what do you look for when you looking to get someone to provide service for that special event, whether it be your birthday, your 50th, your 20th, your 15th, your quinceañera, your wedding, your corporate event, your bar mitzvahs, your bat mitzvahs, your fashion shows, your school events, and so forth. What do you look for? But it's some weird things.
You talking to me?
No, it's some weird activity going on over there. Your hand or something was up there. But yeah. Yeah, we're gonna let Jeff get himself
Yeah.
together, y'all. Y'all gotta
No,
forgive him. He's remote.
I'm good.
Yeah, he's not working from home, but he's working from the car, the van. You know, yeah.
The JP Mobile, as they call
That
it.
man is out there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there
The
fighting
dudes
crime.
and don'ts, man. So what would be some of your dues, Mike? What, if you were hiring a DJ, what would be some things that you would definitely do?
Well, if I was hiring a DJ, and it's kind of an unfair question since I am a DJ. Let me see if I can think.
No, it's not unfair
different.
because you know the look. You know what to look for. So what would be something that you would look for?
Well, to be honest, I would look for someone that was relatable, someone that could relate to the crowd of people that will be there at my event, someone that could keep a party started once it started, someone that could mix a song and not take me from slow to fast, within seconds. Someone that can gradually move me to where we want to go as a party. Those are some of the things that I would look for. What about yourself?
Definitely somebody relatable. I would look for somebody who relatable. Someone we definitely have to vibe. If I'm looking for a DJ, someone I know I can check their skill set. Gonna play music for my crowd and not make the party about them. That would be very important. And I'm one of those ones. I don't like a lot of party. Talk to me through the music. I don't want you to talk me through every song. So that would be something I would look for in my dude. That's probably a don't too, but yeah, definitely somebody who I know can do the job and is as professional as me or yourself when it comes to putting it in the mix, reading the crowd, knowing what just check your credentials. I'll just put it like that.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of your don'ts?
Number one would be don't tell me you can do something that you can't do. I need you to show and prove the ability when you say that you can do something. Don't show up and talk your way through every song or fade your way through every song or echo out every song. I'm looking for, if I'm having an event, and for us it's gonna be real DJs. Don't be make it all about you, and don't tell me you don't want no playlist. Cause I probably wouldn't, because if I hire somebody, it's probably gonna be somebody I know. But hey, you just don't take for granted that I'm hiring you or whatever. Just come on in, do your job, and rock the party. And I think most people I would hire would probably come in and do that anyway, because they know they're gonna be, we're grading them on a tough scale if they're working, if we're working for each other.
Oh yeah.
And what about you on your don't?
Well, one of my major don'ts, I think, kind of coincides with yours. Don't sell me on something that you can't do. Don't overcompensate your mic for your inability to do what you're supposed to be able to do with holding a crowd. Know when to play certain music. If we sitting down eating dinner, I don't need to be hearing Luke.
You're right. Kept me coming.
Yeah. No.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
Yeah. Don't know when to place different things. Know what to do when you're in that type of situation. Don't just get up there and just be playing anything and everything whenever you feel like it's when it's good for you. Know your library. Be well versed. You know, be able
Yeah.
to play to the crowd that people have paid you to play to.
Yeah.
Do your homework. Ask questions. You know, don't don't be playing vulgar language or explicit lyrics and you see Grandma Annie sitting over there.
Yeah, grandma would turn around and look at you like, what
You
the?
know, yeah. And she
Yeah.
look up, it's talking about how much this you can take and I'm gonna give it to you. And no, don't come on, man, don't do that.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean, I think those are conversations you should have with the client way ahead of time. Do have that conversation before, you know, set the expectations or know what your limits are, or you know what's expected out of you, so you know who you're playing for. So you know, no kids, no older folks, we going in. Okay, then you play to that. But if you see little Johnny running around and Grandma Maggie or Grandma Smithy, you know, hey, let's make sure we got that understanding before we go in, and Grandma come back there with the cane and hit you.
oh yeah. Or they turning around looking at you sideways and then you don't want to give them eye-to-eye contact because you know you tripping.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think it's very big, Jeff. You know, one of my major dues is you gotta do your homework. Do your homework.
Yeah.
That-
That's
yeah.
major.
Yes. Does that mean that you're gonna know everything about every situation and every person walking through that door? No, it
No.
doesn't mean that.
No, not at all.
But it does mean that you're going to ask the right questions to the people that are hiring you.
Or you're gonna be prepared. Yeah. You're
Yes.
gonna be prepared.
Yes. You know, and do your homework. So I have to ask the question. You know,
Go
me
ahead.
and you had this conversation the other day in regards to, and I think this falls right along in with the the do's and don'ts of when hiring a DJ.
Okay.
If you're looking to hire a DJ, or you looking to hire someone that I would consider to be seasonal, or someone that this is what they love to do. You know, this is their job. Now, seasonal may be that person that may tell you they can do something that they know they can't do.
Well, again, as being DJs, we kind of cheating because we're gonna do some research on folks and know a little bit about them, or get some feedback, or reach out and ask some questions. But if I'm hiring a DJ, it's definitely gonna be somebody who I know is in the game. And I'm gonna say this too, Mike. There's a lot of good, what we could say, seasonal plus. Because seasonal, is 9 to 5. I still got my 9 to 5. I do this to make extra change. Seasonal plus is the guys who love what they do, but just haven't found and taken it to the next step and stepped out and did it full time. But I think you can have some seasonal plus guys that'll be good. But if I'm hiring, I'm definitely hiring the other way around. I'm not hiring seasonal. This is I'm doing this part time, and it's not in their heart, and it's just about the money. So no, I would never hire anybody like that.
And let me be more. Let me explain more when I say also seasonal, because
Okay.
I agree with you. A person can be seasonal and could be good at what they do. They just haven't took that next step. And when I say seasonal, I know that there's people out there that are not full time at this, but they do everything that they're supposed to do in regards to doing this. This great job that we call DJing. I don't look at them as being seasonal. When I say seasonal, I mean people that okay, I got this gig to do. I'm gonna go make this money, and I'm done. There's nothing put
So that
into it.
also could be your other one too. So it could go both ways. So you can mess
Oh,
up
yeah.
hiring on the other side too, because
Oh yeah.
No,
Well,
yeah.
I'm not saying it in the sense of just because the guy, this is what they do all day and this is their main source of income. That's not how I'm labeling. I'm labeling it by mentality. When I say
Okay.
seasonal, or that person that this is what they love to do, because we have people that are in this profession that this is what they do every day, and they don't put into it what they should. They just put in what they can to make what they want to make, and and that's it.
Yeah, that's one of my words. I call a lot of them minimalist. So I'm gonna put in the minimalist amount of work to get the maximum amount of pay, or get whatever I can. So you're a minimalist. I'm gonna do the least I can. I'm gonna show up. I'm not gonna be prepared. If you ask me for a song, I don't have it. I'm not gonna do this. So yeah, that was your seasonal would be my minimalist. Even as a professional, you still can be a minimalist where you don't put in the work and make treat every event special. So yeah, I got you now.
Yeah, yeah. So interesting. And we do have a guest coming pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
You
yes,
sneaking
we
one in
do.
on me, huh?
Yeah, we do have Miss Alicia Brown Young that's going to come in and give us
Oh,
her perspective,
okay.
from a client's perspective, because, some may say that it's unfair that we speak on this situation because, we're DJs. We can speak to certain things because we're in the profession. But like yourself, I don't necessarily see it that way. Uh, I would love someone in the industry to show me some of the things that I can be better at doing.
Oh yeah. You gotta be able to take criticism or critiques or just subtle hints at stuff you need to improve. You gotta be willing to do that, because if you don't, you're gonna stay in the same place and you're not gonna elevate. You're just gonna stay right there where you at. So we all gotta be okay. Well, you need to do this better. Okay, don't take it personal. Just really, first think about what they said and then say, okay, well maybe if I go back and apply this, maybe it'll help. Or they could be dead wrong, but I feel like somebody tell me something. It's got to be something to make me better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna at least take it under advisement and try to institute it, or at least try it or think about it before I just say, "Oh, you're just a hater." No, I wouldn't look at it like that. I mean, still today. I mean, you, Pat, I think y'all give me something. You, Jorge, tell me something, man. I think about it. Okay, I need to look at it like this, and I take advice and I try to fully just digest it and say, okay, now what can I do to do this to make it better? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have our guest here, so I'm about to bring in Miss Alicia Brown Young.
Well, bring in our guest for the evening.
How you doing, Miss Alicia?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing great. We thank you for joining us. We know you have had a weekend of the ages. You helped in planning that. Man, that was a beautiful.
It was
beautiful.
It was.
Yes, and it was just so amazing to see all those people. And
we were like amazed. I mean, we knew that we had gone over we had a goal of 600, so we knew we had. I saw early on that we were going to go over that, because I promoted it a lot on Facebook and social media, and so that really is what kind of got people interested, and promoted it all the time, just like constantly.
Well, one thing that I was speaking to Sharon earlier, and one thing that I said to her, I said, Miss Alicia is good at rounding up the troops. Mm-hmm. I said, if you want to get the word out there and you want people to show their support, I said, put the ball in her hand and she's gonna deliver every time, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I told Carol, we were talking about it one day, and she said we were just talking about her personality, my personality, some of my other friends, and we were kind of describing all of our friends, and she said, "Friend, you're what they call a connector," and I said, you know what? I've heard that word before. She said, you connect people. Because I was thinking, I don't have this I'm not rich, I'm not famous, I'm not any of that. But you don't have to be a connector, because people connect to you. And I thought that was such a good word to use for people who, it's not so much that you have fame, fortune, status, or anything. It's really your personality is what it is.
Yeah, it says a whole lot about you, because people are gravitating to you. So you may not look at it as fame or fortune, but it is, because you're fortunate enough to have that in you, that you draw those type of people.
It's a gift. It's a gift. You know what I mean? We can all try. We try to do a lot of things, and sometimes we just not working in our area of giftedness. And if you don't have the ability, if you don't like people, I always say you shouldn't be on hospitality. If you don't like to sing, you shouldn't be in the choir. So if you operate where I realized years ago, I said, you know what? I got the gift of gab. I know I can talk.
Oh.
So I thought, okay, where can I use this gift that's going to be something that I enjoy? That is not like a job. I really enjoy talking to people and connecting people. I really get a joy out of saying, hey, this person can do that. This person can do that. Oh, call them. I really enjoy doing that.
And that's wonderful. And I was telling Sharon that too. I said, well, if Miss Alicia put her name on something, I said, you can rest assured that it's not because of friendship. It's because those people can deliver, and she's not going to allow somebody to tear down herself, her brand,
right,
and make her look crazy. I said, so she's real big on that. If she say you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And you can count on that.
Well, you have I think Sharon is your new best friend.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
She is so, and to think about, she's been talking about having a DJ at the gala for years, but we have to go through a lot of protocol in order to make changes, to make sure it's going to be in the budget, because we already had a live band. But I will tell you, when I became the chair, she brought it up again, but we really didn't talk about it again until, or as you know, just a few days before the gala. And when you were available, which was like, oh my gosh, and I said, no, he's really good, Sharon. She was like, okay, I'm going to trust you. I said, have I ever led you wrong? So when I tell you, everybody I've talked to, I just talked to some people earlier. They said, that DJ. I said, oh, girl, yeah. She said, I could have just listened to the DJ all night long. Yeah. Yeah. You read the crowd. And I think that's what you look for in a DJ is if a DJ is able to read the crowd, you can see what kind of music, what kind of vibe is going on, what's happening with them. And you see that and I always didn't understand it about DJs when they're DJing and nobody's on the floor. You got a room full of people and nobody's on the floor. So you don't see that you need to maybe switch up something. And if you can't feel that vibe, you're really not doing a good job. People never got off the floor. It went from one song to the next. I said, my age group, I said, when I heard, was it Blow the Whistle? I said, baby, these people that's born in the 60s, you would have thought, I don't know what song, because you know how I'm like the ones and the twos.
Yeah.
I don't know what song it is now that bring the young folks out on the floor, but that Blow the Whistle for that age group, I think 60s and 70s. I mean, that was, because is that too short?
Yeah, that's too short.
But believe it or not, it hits them too, so you good. It hits the young, the old.
Yeah. That's too short. The road too short.
Yes. So you read the crowd, and it's a unique crowd. I would tell you, you have all different types of people there. And that's what you have to also know is what is your crowd? What is the makeup of your crowd, the dynamics of your crowd. And it is made up of some of Dallas' most elite. It is a lot of professionals, but then you have just your everyday people there. It's a mixture, but you do have a lot of elite people there. And I think that doesn't change. Look, they like good music too. They like to party too. But I think to be able to know that now they probably ain't gonna, this group gonna be feeling kind of like you playing some cussing, a whole lot of cussing, and but they want good music and not just 70s music. They want some of today's music, I remember this song. It was Carol was at my house. I said, "Oh, that's my song right there." It was coming on. I was jamming to it, and I said, "You got to cut it." Carol said, do you know what they're saying?" I said, "You got to cut it. The price is way too high." She said, "Friend, listen to what you're saying." She said, "You know what they're talking about?" I said, "Ooh," because I always say, "That's my song. That's my song." And so in our group, we don't really listen to the word. We listen to the beat, you know.
Yeah, in the chorus.
Yes. So you brought it, and I think that all the elements that we look for in our event, because our event is a live band event, so I think that all of the things that when you think of a live band, sometimes they can't play some of the songs. You know, they're limited a lot of times on what they can play. But having that DJ factor in there really brought a whole different vibe to the gala. You know, because this is the first time back in 2 years. We had a lot of new people, and I was talking to Camille earlier. She said, "Oh, me and Daniel gonna be back next year." She said, "When they hit that first song, when you dropped that first song after the sneakers contest, what was it? Was it a line dance song right after the?"
Yeah, I think it was the wobble.
Right, the floor was just swarmed with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a wobble.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I posted that picture that you did of like the video too, and people were calling me like, "Oh my gosh, did y'all have that many people there?" I said, "Yes." They swarmed the floor.
Yeah, it was about 400 people on that floor.
Yep. And I just got the count today, and we sold like 800. So I got the count today, and so we served 750 plates.
Wow.
So
yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that for us to come together and have a good time. That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, I think the DJ, you know, when you're looking for a DJ you got all kind of DJs out there. You know, you got to find somebody who maybe knows you too. They don't have to know you personally, but when you are hiring somebody, I always like to hire people that I know, because I feel like people that I know, they know me. And anybody knows me, just they're gonna know, well, she's not gonna like that. Now you ain't gonna be able to do all that, you know. But she wants the music. She wants you to come with the music, but I want the clean version of it, you know. But I still want the song, even though everybody know what the beep 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 mean, all the change of words mean. I still want people to have a good time and know that the music is, because let me tell you, a music can kill a party. It can kill a party. You know, if you're not being cognizant of the fact that the people in the floor, now you had 100 people out there and you played a song and 99 of them went back to the seat. You know, people stayed on the floor the entire time. So that meant that you really were connecting with the attendees, you know, the guests. You really seeing that, okay, they're not trying to slow it down. They want to do the line dancing. They wanted to do, because the good thing about it is, it's not where couples got to dance with couples. Women just get out on the floor, dance by themselves, dance with everybody, and that's what people like about it. You know, you don't have to feel like I got to take a date to this event. A lot of people are with their spouses, but you don't have to have a date. So when you have a crowd like that, nobody wants to be playing slow music. You may want to give the couples a couple of slow songs, but what you did was you read the crowd. And I think that is one of the key components of being a good DJ. It's not so much the music, it's reading the crowd to seeing what kind of music what is it that they're standing on the floor for. And I've gone to a lot of parties and I see DJs miss that. They miss it. I mean, we a DJ at home that we used about 10 different DJs over the past 10 years for an event we call the Possum Town Crew. And we could never get it right. I mean, literally, we hire a DJ every year, and it's like, y'all see, I got to go up there and try to get them some songs to play because they could not read the crowd. Not one single one of them. We did that for 10 years and we never got it right. And after COVID happened, you know, we haven't done it, but they never got it right. We just and I didn't understand that.
So can I ask you a question? What were they doing wrong, or what was did you have a conversation with them before, or?
Yes. The last 5 years we did. We had a different one. I think the problem is this: just because you got a crowd there that's over 50, in their 60s, maybe their late 40s, we ain't all trying to hear no blues. One guy here played blues. I was like, I don't want to hear no blues. You can't. I mean, one or two songs here and there. He played. And then another guy just played all the music from the 70s. I grew up in the 70s. I love the 70s music. But when I go to party, I want 70s, I want some 80s, I want some Poison. You know, I want everything. But you just block me into just the decade when you look around and you see, okay, these people here are in their 60s and 50s, 60s, and 70s. So I know they don't really want to dance. You can't prejudge people like that. You know, you gotta see, because you like I'm 62, but I'm a young 62. I'm not out there you know, I'm having a good time, you know. So if you can't see that, you look and see, okay, she's an older lady, but she's jamming, and you can't see that I don't. And then you put on a song that's from the 50s, some Nat King Cole. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Now I take your Eyes, the Brothers, look, Earth, Wind, and Fire. But I need you to bring it on up to, because I grew up in the 60s and 70s, but I was in my 20s and 30s in the 80s, you know. So I'm like, now I don't listen to as much of the stuff the kids listen to, but I like a lot of I like good music. I love good music. And like I said, one of the key components that what you do, DJ Mike, I think you do very well, is reading your audience. Reading your audience. And I think people don't when they don't research their DJ, you know, they don't. You need to get referrals. When people, now I will tell you, when I said your name, she didn't know you, but I said, but the fact that she trusted my recommendation, she knew that I wouldn't refer somebody who just I thought was mediocre. When she talked with you and y'all had a conversation to understand the dynamics of the event, you want to kind of understand what type of event this is. You understood the assignment. And then when you got there, you probably were able to see we got on evening gowns and tuxedos. So that can kind of tell you right there, okay. But then, like I said, when it's already been explained to you on the front end, you don't have to go in there and be fooling around with the music. You already kind of know. Sharon already told you, we want it to be crunk, you know. and it was crunk. Yeah. So when we told the people, some of our other members, we said, you know, we want it crunk. I think they were looking like crunk. We're like, yeah, we really want to. We don't want it to be that music that you want to give everybody a little bit of everything. But if you want a party, you want it to be the party atmosphere, then you got to come with it. And the line dancing is always a huge hit. Always a huge hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good. And did Miss Sharon tell you about the mix that they had done and what I did to the mix?
You know what? She texted me, so kind of tell me what happened with that. I know she said that she was very impressed on how you did that. Like use, I think, something with the speakers.
Well, what happened was when I listened to the track, there was some blemishes. There were a lot of areas where it didn't sound right. And I just didn't feel comfortable with playing that and people looking at me thinking that I'm doing that, and it's a poor representation of me.
Right.
So I told her that I can't. Now, if you want me to do that, I'm gonna do that to satisfy y'all. I said, but I can't do that because I'm better than that. I can't do that.
Right.
And I redid it, and when I put all of the songs together, it even bothered me more because I was like, why did he go in that order? He could have did it this way and it would have been smoother for him. So she asked me, could I hear it? So I let her hear it, and she was like, I like that. I like the transition. So it was longer. So we came up with a solution. I said, well, I can cut it. You tell me where you need it to be cut, and I'll scratch in that part of a flashlight that you want to be in there. Everybody, what was it? Everybody deserves a spot under the sun. The last part of it.
Yeah.
So we did it live up there in a practice, and she loved it.
Yes.
And she was beyond impressed.
So you took the same track and
no, I redid the whole thing.
Okay.
all together. I redid it.
Yeah. Well,
Because
it was
wasn't smooth. It wasn't a smooth transition.
Yeah, it was a smooth, because I'm telling you, Camille said, she said, I don't think I stopped dancing. She said, I don't think that, because you went from one song to the next, and every song, and Camille is a line dancer, so she was like, oh yeah, that was right up her alley. She felt like it was all the right songs. It was the line dancing songs that most people knew, and so nobody, like I said, once I think you lose them off the floor, if you put a song in there and you lose the crowd, then that getting them back out on it, not that it's not possible, but I think that just a continuous flow of music that you were like, oh yeah. And it was because I remember I got ready to go to the floor and back to my seat, and I said, oh Lord, I was so tired. I went back out there. I was exhausted. I went back out there. I said, oh, that's my song. That's my song. Yes. So yeah, like I said, I think that transition is really important too. I mean, I've gone to parties in the transition. It's like, why would they play that song? I mean, you can just feel that song does not go right there. You got a full of people. Why would you stop and play a slow song? When the crowd, it's evident that they are hyped. And this is not the time for a slow song. Now you may want to give them a slow song, but when you got people, you look like nobody's tired. The floor is packed. The floor was packed. I don't even remember it really thinning out. I don't remember until when the DJ ended. And I think we went to the break. I mean, went back to the band. I think that's when they kind of thinned out. It thinned out. Not because they didn't like the band. It's just the fact that the songs that they were hearing from the DJ, which is why some people feel like, okay, they would love to have a DJ, But I love the mix. I love the mix. I love doing both, and she's been asking for that for years. She's been wanting to do that, So I'm interested to see the feedback. We've gotten a lot of great feedback. I'm interested to see feedback other than from us, what others are saying about it. But we've heard some great things already. Yeah, your mix was really good, and I think that reading that crowd, you did really, really well. But even like I said, even though you already had it there, but it's kind of like you already had the music together, but I don't know what DJs that you envision or what type of crowd is going to be. So we're going to go from here to here to here to here, here to here. And people never got off the floor. And to me, as if I were a DJ, I would feel like I've accomplished my goal, by the fact that they stayed on the floor the whole time. And
one of the hard things is the line dances are great, but it's what do you do after the line dance? Because people are going to dance to a line dance, but what do you play after that? And you have to be able to match that same energy when you come out with another song, because if you don't, then you're going to have exactly what you've been talking about. The dance floor is going to clear out. And that's important. And it was just so funny seeing everything taking place there. And they just they created a big box, and they made a big Soul Train line by themselves.
I saw that. I was thinking, wow, yes.
And they just kept going farther and farther and farther. So that's important. And being able to do that. What do you think, Jeff?
Oh yeah, definitely. As being a guest, it was a lot of fun to watch it and watch someone else work as a DJ myself. So, we've talked about it. It was great, man. I had a great time. The music was good. I got out there and I had a little fun myself.
So you were there?
Yes, my wife is a link.
Oh, what's her name?
Calva Powell.
Okay.
She's with the new links. With Yasmin.
Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. They actually bought a whole table.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
And brought me as a guest. I'm like,
oh
really?
Yeah.
He's a connecting link. He's a connecting link.
That's exactly right. Yes.
So.
Well, glad you had a good time.
Yes, ma'am. We did. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you got any more questions? Anything else you want? Or that's the only thing you had thought of so far?
Well, I really, with Miss Alicia being, she does so many events. I just wanted to really see her perspective, when it came to DJs, because I know she's seen a lot of DJs, even in bands. She's done so many events. And to me, it's always important to hear from the other side, because when we say stuff, it's kind of like, but it matters to you guys because you're hiring. You're looking at you're hearing the music. You're seeing people dance and not dance. And you're, like you say, you're in a room full of people and nobody's really doing anything. And it's because there's no connection.
That kickoff song was the first song, Blow the Whistle.
No, it was Wobble.
What was after the Wobble? What was the song that you went to after you got through with the line dancing?
Let me think this. Please.
I think Tootsie Fly, Butterfly. That's all.
No, that wasn't that. It was Blow the Whistle.
I thought.
I'm
telling you, when that came on.
Yeah.
Oh, when Blow the Whistle came on, it was like, it was just like, it was like, here we go. I mean, that song would have heard, that is that kind of age group. That's my age group. When we really want to have a party, that's what we played. So when Blow the Whistle, I think it took everybody back. I think it took everybody back,
So somebody do have a question for you. They say, what are tips for DJs who are trying to work with people like you?
They're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
What are tips for DJs who are trying to work? Well, I think that you need to do some research on the organization, whether it's a social organization, a sorority or a fraternity or just a family gathering. You need to find out, okay, what kind of family is it? Are they really, elitist, or are they good old hood people? You want to find out your audience, and you have to know, okay, yeah, we don't want no Barry White and Lionel Richie. No, we don't want none of that. We want some, what's the guy named?
Barry White and Lionel Richie.
Yeah. What's the guy named down in Florida that got in a, I can't remember his name, but anyway, he's in the Too Short family. You've got to be able to find out who your audience is, because what we look for, what I knew about Mike, I've seen his work, and I knew that he knew how to accommodate the organization that I was in, and even though people, like I said, whether it's a sorority, whether it's a fraternity, whatever it is, you want to do the research on the organization, and then you want to see what kind of event is this they're doing? Because some organization, even though it's a sorority fraternity, it may be a really, really party. But then, like, our event was kind of an upscale event. Tuxedos. It was black tie. It was really nice. It wasn't stuffy, but it was an upscale event. And so I think that you just have to make sure that if you are trying to get into those events, you need to let people know that you can do all types. You can cater to different types of groups. You're not just pigeonholed into saying, I just do birthday parties and graduation parties. I can also do weddings, and I can also do formal events. I can do upscale events. So your versatility, I think, will be important to know that you just, if I tell you, hire you, and you say, I ask you, what do you mostly DJ? And you say, well, I do a lot of graduation parties. You may not be the person that I want to go with, because if that's all that you do, you really have limited yourself, and not maybe not by your choice, but you have not been maybe exposed to different type of audience and had the opportunity.
Yeah.
I like that.
And seeing that's really deep, because we've had conversations about, it's okay to have your niche, but when I look at a DJ, I look at as a DJ as someone that could play to any situation.
Right.
Because for me, if I just stick to this particular niche, I'm putting a cap on what I could make, for one, and I'm putting a cap on the growth that I could get from playing to all of these other types of people in events.
Yeah. And you got to be flexible as a DJ. To me, if you cannot see that, okay, this crowd, I walked in here and I thought it was one thing, but it really is another. If you can't do a switch and say, okay, I thought this is what they wanted, even though they might have told you what you wanted, you know, you got as a DJ, you got to say, how can I get, and it's, you got to think fast on your feet. How can I change the direction of this event and get the people, get a party started? Because what they have told me they thought they wanted is not what they wanted. And so I think that back to the young guy's question, young person's, I don't know if they're young enough, to the person's question, I think it's just really important to, you've got to find ways to show your versatility. You know, you can't just be limited that you really know all the rap, you all know all the hip hop. You know, you need to be able to say that I know how to mix in a little old school too. Because with me, I like a little old school too. I like a lot of old school. But I think that sometimes DJs, like the DJs we had at the event at home, I just felt like I couldn't understand that they could not get, after 10 years of doing this event, I think 8 years, I could not understand how we could not get one DJ to come in, have a playlist, and it never got accomplished. And I could not understand that for the life of me. We would tell them this is what we wanted. The last year we had said we're going to give them, we got to have to actually going to give them the songs to play. And we don't know how to DJ, so we don't know how to transition. We just know we like I can be real.
What did they do that was so bad, or how did they mess up a handed playlist?
No, COVID happened and we didn't get a chance to do it that year.
Okay.
Now we're gonna finally conquer it. We had a playlist.
That's sad. If you have to give the DJ a playlist.
Yeah. You know what? I forget, Miss Alicia, you from Mississippi, right?
Yes.
Jeff is from Mississippi too.
Really? Yeah. What part?
Hattiesburg.
I'm from Columbus.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Where'd you go to school?
Air Force. I went in the Air Force.
Yeah.
But I'm a Southern Miss diehard fan. My daughter just graduated. Well, she's working on her master's now. One of my daughters.
Oh yeah, I went to Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. My nephew graduated from there.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah.
That's small world.
That's my neck of the woods. Yes.
Yeah.
They couldn't get it right down there though. They could not. And then one year I would say one thing about people too is I think people have to understand is that when it comes to pay, we were getting some really cheap DJs because we didn't really have a budget. So you really get what you pay for. And it took us a long time to realize that
high five on that one.
Oh, you high five. Yeah, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. We were hiring a lot of shade tree DJs, that just, it wasn't their profession. They were just kind of playing around. Some of them did call themselves, a DJ, but they really did not have the
we just got through talking about that, didn't we, Mike?
Yeah.
Seasonal DJ.
Yeah. I call them seasonal.
Yeah.
So when y'all found out you might need to spend a little bit more money during those 8 years, did you ever say, okay, well, if we pay more and get a good DJ, it'll be better, or
that's what we
keep
thought.
Going on?
Yeah.
That's what you thought, and that still went bad?
It did. Yeah.
Wow.
The year that the guy played blues music, I had to go up there to the DJ. I said, the guy that was the chair with me, we were going to tell him, you're going to have to leave. Because we're paying you and you're playing blues music.
So y'all told the DJ he had to leave?
We were going to because he wouldn't change the songs. Because we were like, he playing blues. He played blues.
And you know what? I don't really care what anybody say. There needs to be a certification or something, or you need to have a resume, and people need to, I guess we all need to check valid sources and check, go back and do a little research. But I mean, sometimes that's our fault for not doing research on them too.
Absolutely. But you get these referrals that they would say, oh, he was at my sister so-and-so. And it's not that they might not have gone to a party and done well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not consistent. It's not consistent. You did well at my birthday party, but you were a hot mess at my wedding.
She is a young 62, brother. She coming with the heat.
Oh yeah,
hot man.
Exactly. And we never got it, and it was so sad that COVID happened, we thought we had it right because we had created a list. Now, of course, I would tell you our list was not not a good transition. We just gave the songs, you know.
Yeah, but a good DJ can take your list and make it into some great transitions.
Mm-hmm.
You can. That's just the thing. If you got, we know. Well, me and Mike would know how to do it, and other people know how to do it too. So y'all got a good DJ now. Y'all don't have to worry about it no more. Y'all got Mike. He won't.
Yes,
if you do something, don't look any further. You got your DJ.
Well, I was already familiar. You know, I didn't have to check him times, but he on his job. He on his job though. Yes.
Yeah,
you know, I have a strong personality. You know, I say what I'm gonna say, but I would tell you he is. You know, the bottom line, whatever it is, I know he gonna come with it. That's the point about it. We get beyond anything, but he gonna come. He gonna deliver, like the folks say. Not he's going to deliver. He gonna deliver. He did not disappoint. He did not disappoint. Yes.
Oh, I appreciate it, and I always appreciate the opportunities. And I, like I was telling Sharon, I said it's when people that I deal with and they ask me to do something, the last thing I'm gonna do is make them look bad. I'm gonna shine for them because when I shine for them, I shine for me. So I told her the last thing that I'm going to do is make Miss Alicia have to eat her words. So y'all gonna get all the smoke and some. All of it.
Well, no, I told her, no, he is, because when we talked on the phone that night, she called a guy that's a friend of hers for a DJ, and he was not going to be available. I said, well, I got a guy. I said, but it's Wednesday. I said, I just don't know if he's going to be available. I said, well, let me just try. And we were available, and then we were able to, it wasn't in our budget. That was one of the things about it. With organizations like this, you have to go, you can't just say, we're going to hire a DJ. You have to go through certain protocol. And so we decided to, make a couple of calls, and, it was approved, and we moved forward. And so we had to move expeditiously on that because the event was Saturday. So we had to jump through a few hoops, and but we knew that we were going to make it happen. But it just, of course, we just had to go through some procedures. But I would tell you Sharon was just so extremely pleased because she didn't know, she loves music. And she knows a good DJ. So I knew when she was very complimentary, I said, oh yeah, this is, like I said, she was sold. She was sold. Yeah. She was sold on y'all's conversation discussing how the whole process was going to work. So, cause she knew that you had captured her vision. You really saw what she was trying to accomplish,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure when we came out of that sneakers contest, we went right into crunk mode. That's what she, Yes.
Young whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what I do want to make sure that we do, Miss Alicia, we want you to tell the people about yourself, what you do, what Miss Alicia is about, and so forth, because people want to know.
Well, I'm from Mississippi. I graduated from Mississippi State University with a degree in broadcast journalism. That was my degree. I wanted to be a broadcaster, even though I didn't go in television like I wanted to. I was working behind the scenes, but I have a show now that I do every 3 months. I haven't done it since I chaired the gala, and it's called Speak Out and Be Heard. It's a Facebook Live television, like a Facebook Live show that I interview. I'm not sure, Mike, if you've seen my advertisement on it, but I interviewed a lot of
we want to make sure we support.
Yes, I interviewed a lot of the judges were running for office. Jasmine Crockett, her opponent, a lot of the politicians that were running. That was because when I started my show, I was doing campaign season last year, and so I started here working in I worked in high-net communications. I worked in a lot of communication companies, and then I finally wanted to go into pharmaceutical sales. I thought that was just the most exciting job ever. And I got a job with a company out of called Eli Lilly that made insulin. And I started selling insulin and diabetic drugs. And then I started selling Prozac, which is a antidepressant. And then, I left that company. I got an offer with another company called Azai Pharmaceutical, which is a Japanese pharmaceutical company. I sold Aricept for Alzheimer's, and then I sold Acifex for acid reflux. I stayed there about 9 years, and then they laid off. And then I thought, do I want to stay in sales or do I want to, do something else? And I thought, I'm a salesperson, so I'm going to do sales. So I was fine and looking for a job. I had been gotten laid off for a couple of weeks, and Colgate came up, and through Indeed.com, and I was one of the first people to apply. And I tell people all the time, looking for a job is a job. I was looking every day because I had made a decision. I'm going to stay in sales. And they called me. I flew to New York. A few weeks later, I had the job, and that's been 10 years ago. So I'm in dental sales. I'm a pharma dental sales. And I call on surgeons, dental surgeons, orthodontists, specialty dentists who give medication to people who have like gingivitis or things that require medication for dental dental disease.
Mhm.
So I've been doing that for a while, and I'm an AKA, and I am a member of the Links and some other organizations. Just stay busy. I really do like to be
Yeah.
very active in the community.
Yeah. And what about the Bo and Debs?
Yes, I chaired the Bows and Debs. In 2000, I chaired it from 2000 to 2004. Pastor Bailey had appointed me before he passed away, and I chaired it then. And then I got married, left, and went to the church where my husband was, and my ex-husband. And then I came back to Concord. When I came back to Concord, they asked me would I take over again and chair. And that was 2014. So I chaired it from 2014 until COVID 2020. And right now it's on a hiatus. I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back, but they had been asking me to chair the gala for about 5 years, but there's no way I could have done both. I could not have done Bows and Debs and the gala. And now that I just did the gala, I know I could not have done that. And so they are talking to me, Pastor Connor from the church. He's now over at Mercy Street Ministries in West Dallas, and they cater to the youth in that area in South Dallas and West Dallas. And so they are talking to me about creating like a Bows and Debs in West Dallas for underprivileged girls and boys to participate in. So it's kind of like Bows and Debs is just going to be, we'll probably get a lot of donations, and these are kids that are truly underserved and underprivileged, and that we want to expose them to the same thing that we expose them to at Concord, on the same level, the same excellence, the same beauty, and all of the things that we did there. We want to be able to provide them so they can have that experience. It'll be a life-changing experience for them.
Yeah, and that is a wonderful program. And y'all raised thousands and thousands of dollars.
Thousands. Yes. One year we did $100,000 in ads. Yes.
Wow.
Wonderful. It was a wonderful event. Yeah, it really, it was beautiful. It was part of, I would say, one of the most beautiful events I've ever participated in. Just the whole presentation with the dance, the waltz, just everything about it was very elegant. And sometimes we know that our debutantes and our bows may not ever wear a tuxedo again. The Debs may not ever wear a gown like that again. So this gives them the opportunity to see what, in case they never do, they experience a very formal event. We taught them etiquette. We took them on community service. They had to do 2 community service, just exposing them to what some of these cotillion balls are that they cannot afford to participate in. And so that was one of the things I loved about it, because it gave them that exposure. They were able to say, I was a debutante, and I didn't pay thousands and thousands of dollars to be it.
Yeah. And it was, I know when we had TJ and he was in it, it was a wonderful experience.
Yes.
And just to see all of the parents in the,
My gosh.
and the
Yes.
Bo and Debs participating and learning the dances and so forth, the weekly meetings, the weekly just going through the routines and everything.
Yes. And
Yeah.
the waltz. And it was
Oh,
really it was not just a put together waltz. It was a creatively choreographed waltz that was one of the traditional waltzes that they did back in the old days. Not one of these new waltzes. Some of the waltz that you see now, they kind of modernize it. No, these were your traditional English waltz. And I mean, they were absolutely, Teresa Harder was our choreography, beautiful dance. And Debbie Kerr also choreographed it for the parents.
Oh, yes. Yes. Debbie
So
was great.
Yes. I think that was 2014 or 15
Yes.
that it was in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yep, it was. Yeah, it was good.
Yes.
It was good. So the good thing, you guys heard it, Miss Alicia, one of the Dallas Greats. I know she's from Mississippi, but she belongs to Dallas now.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I've
her
been here
second
since
home. This is her home now.
yes. I've been here since I moved here in 1988.
Wow.
oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
belong to Dallas now.
Oh yeah,
And,
I'm from Dallas. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And I think all your friends would say the same.
Yeah.
They would. They would. Amazing village, and I would tell you that they were very supportive at the gala. And even my church, our church,
Mhm.
I had 108 guests and
Oh,
75
I
of those
saw 'em.
guests. Mhm.
Yeah.
75 of those guests were Concordians.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. When I was up on the stage and
They waved
once
their
I
hand.
walked out, I'm like, oh. And I
Yeah.
already knew. I said, yeah, Miss Alicia got you here. That's the only reason you're here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They came out and the tickets were $200 a ticket. So we were thinking this post-COVID, people struggling, and nonprofits are struggling. We depend
Yeah.
upon our fundraisers and gala to support our programs, to support the community service projects that we do. We strictly support that through our fundraiser. That is how we do anything that we do. And so we thought the tickets before were $125. So we went from 125 to 200.
Wow.
So we were concerned. Now I wasn't as concerned because, like I said, I'm a salesperson. I thought, okay, there's a strategy behind this. How do we do this? Promote the heck out of it on Facebook, on social media, create that interest.
Mm-hmm.
And once you create that interest, people are like, okay, then you say, well, look, you don't want to miss this. This is going to be the event, the premier event of the year. You do not want to miss it. We typically sold 600 tickets. We sold 805 tickets.
Wow.
Wow.
So we sold 200 plus more tickets.
Wow.
We double our goal as far as our sponsorships. So, we can't use COVID a lot of times as a crutch. We have to sometimes reinvent ourselves. Even as a DJ, you might have felt like, okay, nobody's having parties. You better find a way or create a way to bring in that income that you can say, okay, they're not getting that. What can I do on social media? Because that's what everybody was during COVID.
Yeah.
So I tell people, you have to, like Carol's business, she really maximized her business with catering. As a result of COVID, she started doing deliveries and just started doing, she would make all these charcuterie boards and boxes, and people would just buy them or buy quarts of greens or quarts of pasta. And so she made a way to happen. So what happened when COVID was on his way out, she had established a clientele that she was able to say, now I'm back, I'm full-time catering. So she was able to maximize her business that way.
And she's doing very well.
Very, very well. Very well. Very well. Because I had to talk to her about she was working a full-time job. I tell people all the time, in order to hone in on your craft, something that you really want to do, you cannot work a full-time job and give 100% to whatever you have a passion for.
Say that again, Miss Alicia. Say that again.
Yeah, you have to make a decision and make the sacrifice that you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to give this my all. And it may be a financial sacrifice, but you got to figure out how you're going to do it, because you cannot work your passion and have a full-time if that's not your passion. You can't say, I'm going to work an 8 to 5, and then on the job, you doing your sidekick, which is not being really honest with your job. You're not being you're really doing a disservice to yourself, because I feel like God doesn't bless when we can paid on a full-time job, and you taking calls, and maybe everybody does it, but I'm just saying to the point that you're setting up DJ appointments all day on the job. You over there. Okay, now can you call me later on? You at work, but people hear you. You got to make a decision, especially when you start building that business and it's gotten to a level that's what Carol, she was working at the law office. And I said, friend, you need to quit that job, because you cannot you can't get to some of your caterings. You stand up all night cooking so that you working an 8 to 5. You cannot do it. And it's a fear. People are, and I understood it. It was easy for me to say, to walk away from a job but she was bringing in more with her business than she was on the job. But it's a fear that we have about stepping out there on faith and saying,
we do.
Yeah, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up this 8 to 5. I'm gonna trust God, and I'm gonna walk out here. I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'm gonna make the best out of it. And you may have to work hard to get to where you need to get to. But just like you, DJ Mike, I'm sure you felt like whatever you were doing is that DJ is what I do. That's what gives me joy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it gives me income, it gives me joy, and I'm in my area that it's not like a job to me, but it is a job.
Mm-hmm.
But you enjoy it.
Oh, yes. And that, like the saying goes, if you do something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it is with sales. I feel like I thought about doing some to go into nonprofit. I had gotten an offer to go in with a company to be their executive director, because I do love sales. But I thought that's a different kind of sales, selling to people to sell them on your nonprofit.
mm-hmm.
Selling to dentists and doctors, that was easy for me. I tell them about my product, you know, because you have to know the scientific part of it. I learned that. And a lot of sales is not even about the science of it, because they're the doctors. They already know about it. You're just going to educate them one time on your product. The biggest thing was just relationships.
Yep.
Build relationships and you can build a business.
Mm.
You build relationships, you can build a business.
Words to live by.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because I don't refer people based on business. I refer people based on relationships. I refer Mike because I have a relationship with him. I mean, there are other DJs that I know. I don't have a relationship with them. You know, I'm going to go to who I have. So when you build a relationship, you're focusing on the fact that that's what's going to get you more referrals, because you're building a relationship. And and sometimes people that would never, they don't really understand that they're investing all this money into marketing and all these kind of strategies, when all you got to do is make some connections with some people, get your name out there, find your way to get into some events that you know that's going to get your name out there. And when you do that and you do one good event and you bring it, that's all it takes to get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are words of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope those that are listening, and whenever you listen, you pay close, attention to that, because that's something that applies to anything that you do in life.
Anything. Yes.
It's other people that's going to always put you in situations that's going to help you to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And it really doesn't matter how good you are. You can be the best at anything. If nobody can walk you through that door, you're just the best.
Yeah, you're right. And that's just like in sales, and almost everything that you do, especially in business, no matter what business capacity you work in, it's sales. Because you're selling yourself as a DJ on your expertise, you're selling it on your experience, you're selling it on the education that you've learned to how to be a good DJ. I tell people, folks, when they talk about DJs, a lot of times they're thinking everybody think they can spin records. It is a method to what you think is the madness. It's not just the fact. I mean, you got to have an ear. I mean, people think I got a whole lot of folks think they can DJ. I mean, I really do. I see a lot of people thinking you got to have an ear to know what sounds right and what's flowing. And I think a lot of people, and that's what even a lot of jobs, when you go, like with sales, when I go into offices and I'm talking to my doctors, I have to read them. I have to read and see, okay, they're not interested in talking about nothing about they want to talk about their kids today and their last vacation. I may spend 30 minutes in there. We talking about vacation and what the children doing in school. And I walk on out of there and go to my car. I said, okay, the next time we're going to come back to we're going to talk about these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your audience, listen to your crowd.
Yeah. And that is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can drop so many gems on us tonight. And some people will think, is she a DJ?
I've just done enough events that I know I'm not an event planner, but I know, I guess I'm not a professional event planner, but I know how to make a program flow. I know how to say, no, that's not going to work. People don't, so, and I've been to enough in my 62 years. Let me just tell you, when my brother worked at a record store when I was young, like in 76, 77. I used to have parties. My parents were educators. And we used to, back in the day, well, y'all may not know, I'm not sure, but back in the day, in the 70s, folks used to call you and say, Alicia Brown, can I come to your party? Because I had a party outside. We had a carport. And, people just come from all over. almost 100 people that just outside, whatever, no fighting, no nothing. And so when I would have a party, everybody said, not Alicia, Alicia Brown having a party. So even in the 10th grade, when I was 15 years old, I was having parties, and then people were okay with the kids coming to my parents' house because my father was a principal, my mom was a teacher, so they were like, Mr. and Miss Brown not gonna have that. So the parents didn't even mind. Oh, the party's gonna be at Alicia Brown's house. And my brother worked in a record store, and it was record player. So the record would play. Somebody had to be over there lifting it up. And we have all his records, and we just play. And my mom one day, just anybody in the neighborhood they wouldn't call the DJs. There's somebody over there, taking the record off, putting the record on. And this song was out, and she told me, do not play that song. And that was me and Mrs. Jones. We got going on. I was in the 10th grade. I didn't know what Mr. and Miss Jones was doing. I didn't even know who they were. But she said, do not play that song. And somebody put that song on, and the party was over. But as I got older, I knew what Mr. and Miss Jones was doing. I knew what was happening.
They got a thing going on.
Yes. And then the other song that one time she told me not to play, same thing happened. Tonight is the night.
Very nice.
Yes. She said, don't put that song on. I didn't know what they was talking about. I didn't know. But when I got older, I said, oh my goodness. I see what my mom was, tonight is the night. I'll be just. I was thinking, okay, I see what mama was talking about. Take that song off. Yeah. So those are the two songs that I remember. Literally, I got in trouble for playing.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Miss Alicia, we really enjoyed you, and thank you for coming on with us. We appreciate the knowledge that you bless us with, and I hope those that are listening and those that are listening later that they can appreciate that, because it's nothing like getting information from somebody on the outside looking in.
You're extremely knowledgeable about what you want and what people should expect out of a DJ or look for it. I really like how you broke it. You kind of said what me and Mike had said before you got on with us.
Yeah.
And that's good, because that means that, and I respect your attention to detail. In seeing how things, well, no, that's not right. This is how it should go. It's just not going in that route. And I really appreciate that, because, we're in the industry, like you said, everybody feel like they can do this or do that.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's not as easy as push and play.
Exactly. I believe in flawless execution. And so that's not everybody's gift. I used to think, I didn't think that I was a perfectionist. I had to finally accept the fact, because perfectionists don't think they're perfectionists. They just think they want it done right, which equates to you being a perfectionist, because you want everything just right. But over the years, I have become a little flexible, because sometimes when you are a perfectionist, you don't give people grace. And you do to extend grace to people because just because you are a perfectionist, you cannot expect everybody else to be a perfectionist. And people know what your expectations are, and that's good. They need to know that you do expect perfection, but we need to know that even though you expect it, you should not expect people to achieve it, because that's something that you are, and those are the qualities that make up who you are. And I had to grow into that. And I still am. I still feel like I don't like people to do things halfway, but I do give grace. I do give grace. I do extend grace.
Great.
You know what? With that, you changed my mind. You changed my mind, because I am a perfectionist when it comes to music, and I do expect others to do the same, and I can't, and I shouldn't.
Right. And it's not fair.
I feel that way doesn't mean that they do.
Right.
But there's a limit.
I need to have grace.
There's a limit on that grace, though.
Oh, yes.
Is what?
What? Say that again about the grace, Jeff?
There's a limit.
Oh, it's a limit because you don't just continue. You don't now you extend grace.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not a perpetual thing. You don't just continue to extend grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So many times, yes, sir.
to the grace that is extended also. But
Huh.
we could talk all night about that, but we're gonna let grace and mercy go.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm keeping it real. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
some. I'm also gonna be looking for you to bring some mercy on up with you too, or something.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But
Because
all right, Mike, it's time. We
yeah.
didn't.
Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Alicia. We
Well,
really
thank y'all. I'm
appreciate
glad I
you.
was able to sit in for Sharon. Thank y'all for the invite, and I hope I did. I hope I did.
You're coming
well.
back.
Oh, you did.
We
You
might
did.
have to sit on a panel or something at one of our DJs.
Oh
Well, let me
yeah.
know. Yeah, I can give
Oh,
the
yeah.
perspective from the outside. Yeah.
Yes. Most definitely.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Mhm. You brought the heat.
Yes.
I love music. I do love music. I love music. Any kind of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blow the whistle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And do the hustle. Do the
Oh
hustle.
yeah.
Now, had you played Do the Hustle? Hey, I'm gonna say this.
Mike.
Yeah, I played it, but no, I didn't play it that night. I think they wanted more than the hustle.
They didn't want to do the because I would have been looking at him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's my song, but I wouldn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it.
no, it wasn't that type of party.
It wasn't to do the hustle party. They was to blow the whistle.
Yeah,
Oh.
blow it. All
All right,
you
y'all
have a
have a
good
good
one.
night.
All right, you too.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
y'all. Bye bye.
All right.